Hello guys. Welcome back again to Emmy Facts TV videos. Today I will tell you about amazing facts about Mount Everest you don't know. Intro. It is a fact that Mount Everest is a natural wonder of the planet Earth, an amazing geographical phenomenon where the mountain rises to the edge of the atmosphere. For the local Sherpas, Everest has sacred and spiritual values. Locals love the mountain. Climbers die to climb the summit. For explorers and adventure lovers, Everest is simply a dream destination. For all these reasons, every climber dreams of reaching the summit of Everest at least once in his lifetime. Although many dreams never come true, and some of those who reach the summit never return home, be that as it may, the magnificence of Mount Everest is well known. Fact 1. Everest summit is the border of Nepal and China. The summit of Everest is on the border of Nepal and China. Nepal is to the south and sea. Most climbers, however, choose the route through Nepal. One of the main reasons is that their gradual trail to Everest Base Camp helps them get used to it. Sherpas, indigenous to the region, are the heroes who usually lead the expeditions. Fact 2. The year no one tried to summit. In 1974, no one tried to climb Mount Everest. This was the only year in history that no one has climbed Everest since the start of the ascent. Fact 3. Cost of climbing Everest. It costs an average of $35,000 or more to climb Everest. A royalty fee of $11,000 per climb is included. Here is a comprehensive article that explains what is most commonly covered in this quote. Fact 4. High altitude cemetery. Everest is the cemetery located at the highest altitude. Nearly 300 climbers died trying to climb Everest. There are at least 200 bodies on the slopes of Everest, most of them in the kill zone. Corpses are mummified in cold temperatures. Taking down dead bodies is extremely difficult and dangerous. Therefore, they are left as if they had died on the mountain. There has been an occasional rescue by their loved ones for some high-profile families with private funding of at least $40K, $70K. Fact 5. Spider lives on Everest. Above the clouds, in the thin air of Everest, lives a slimy creature. One of the Himalayan jumping spiders, Euophrys omnisupus, lives at an altitude of 6,700 meters, 22,000 feet. It is one of the permanent high-altitude dwellers living among rocky rubble. Fact 6. Fastest mountain. More than 50 tons of climbing waste is scattered on the mountain. With a large number of summit attempts, the mountain continues to collect garbage. The huge amount of garbage makes Everest the dirtiest mountain. Fact 7. More than 6,000 domes. As of 2019, 6,076 people have reached the summit of Mount Everest. The oldest climber is 80 years old and the youngest 13 years old. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more psychological facts. Fact 8. 2-hour rule. There is a 2-hour rule when climbing Everest. Due to extreme and unpredictable weather conditions, you will have to reach the summit by 2 p.m. If you can't make it to the summit by then, you'll have to go back to avoid accidents. Fact 9. Helicopter landed on the top of Everest. French fighter pilot and helicopter test pilot Didier Delcel has landed a helicopter on the summit of Everest forever. He made this record on 14th May 2005 with the Eurocopter as 350 Squirrel. Fact 10. Wind speed 200 km/h on Everest. The summit of Everest reaches the upper troposphere, closer to the edge of the stratosphere. This exposes the mountain to the strong, cold winds of jet streams. Wind speeds of 280 kilometers per hour, 175 miles per hour, were recorded in February 2004. Winds of over 160 kilometers per hour, 100 miles per hour, are frequent at the summit. Fact 11. Mount Everest is not the highest mountain on Earth. You read that right. Mount Everest reaches the highest altitude above sea level. But if you measure from base to peak, Mauna Kea on the island of Hawaii is taller. Everest is at 29,028 feet above sea level, while Mauna Kea is just 13,796 feet above sea level. But Mauna Kea extends to about 19,700 feet below the Pacific Ocean. More than half of this mountain is underwater. Fact 12. Mount Everest. Fact 101. Its height is controversial. There is controversy over the exact height of Mount Everest. Between 1952 and 1954, the Survey of India measured 29,028 feet, 8,848 meters, which is widely accepted. A Chinese survey in 1975 measured Everest at 29,029.24 feet, 8,848.11 m. In 1987, an Italian survey using a satellite obtained a value of 29,108 feet, 8,872 meters. In 1992, another Italian survey measured Everest using the Global Positioning System (GPS) and found it to be 29,023 feet, 8,846 meters. It was the height of the cliff not counting the 2 meters of snow and ice. Fact 13. You are always pronouncing it wrong. Mount Everest is not pronounced Everest like everyone else does. The mountain is named after the Welsh surveyor geographer Colonel Sir George and is pronounced Everest. The Royal Geographical Society, RGS, named the mountain after him in 1865. RGS appreciated his contribution to the Great Trigonometric Survey of India. George was opposed to honor and was always ashamed of it. Fact 14. Everest was named Everest in 1865. The highest mountain was named Mount Everest in 1865 in honor of George Everest. The mountain has always had its original title. In Nepali it is called Sagarmatha, which means head of the sky. In Tibetan, she is called Komolangama, which means goddess of the mountains. Before Everest was named, it was called Peak 15 in English. Fact 15. First wedding on top of Everest. A Nepali couple, 24-year-old Moni Mulepti, and her fiancé Tuom Dorji, 23, were married on the summit of Everest in 2005. They stayed on the summit for 10 minutes to complete the ritual. If you are having trouble finding a venue for your wedding, the top of Mount Everest is open to the couple. Wouldn't that be awesome? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more psychological facts. Fact 16. Mount Everest continues to rise. Mount Everest is estimated to be 50 to 60 million years old. Still, it didn't stop growing tall. The collision force of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates is still exerting pressure on the heights of the Himalayas. The top of Everest rises a quarter of an inch every year. Fact 17. Your body starts dying at the top of Everest. Due to lack of oxygen in the death zone above 8,000 meters, the cells of the body start dying. The level of oxygen at the summit of Everest is only a third above sea level. Temperatures are extreme, falling below -50 degrees Celsius. The average temperature at the summit of Mount Everest is minus 19 degrees Celsius in summer and minus 36 degrees Celsius in winter. These conditions are not conducive to human existence. Amazingly, Babu Chiri Sherpa was able to summit 21 hours without supplemental oxygen in 1999. Fact 18. First Summit. The first successful summit was held on 29 May 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay of Nepal. Fact 19. Dead bodies used as landmarks. There are bodies on Everest that are used as a reference point for climbers. One of the most famous corpses is the Green Boots, named after their bright green climbing shoes. Green Boots is near the northeast ridge. It is believed to be the body of Indian mountaineer Sewang Paljor, who died in 1996. On the last day, he was seen alive wearing the same green shoes. However, one fact is still unknown. Fact 20. Try climbing for the first time. The first attempt to climb Mount Everest was made in 1921 by a team of British climbers, including George Molay. Molay and Andrew Irwin made another attempt in 1924. They were seen on their way to the summit. With his death on the mountain, it remains a mystery where he reached the summit. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more